Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and because I have a healthy appreciation for Batman, here on the 15th anniversary of its release, which is crazy, I give you my review of Batman Begins. Are you gonna subscribe? Are you gonna like this video? Are you?
Swear to me!
Batman Begins is an action-adventure film from director Christopher Nolan and Warner Brothers. The movie stars Christian Bale, Katie Holmes, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Liam Neeson, Gary Oldman, Rutger Hauer, Cillian Murphy, Ken Watanabe, Tom Wilkinson, Mark Boone Jr., and Linus Roach. After training with his mentor, Batman begins his fight to free crime-ridden Gotham City from corruption. Quick heads up, this will be a spoilers review. The movie's 15 years old. I should say I am a lifelong Batman fan. I'm also a big movie guy, and I generally have a pretty good idea of what flicks are coming down the pipeline. So imagine my surprise when I was sitting in a movie theater and I saw the teaser trailer for this movie that I had no idea was being made. The trailer starts, says from director Christopher Nolan. I'm like, oh, the Memento guy. I like that movie. Then we see Christian Bale. I'm like, oh, that's Patrick Bateman. I like Christian Bale. Ooh, look, Michael Caine. Ninjas. Whatever this movie is, I'm into it. This is gonna be cool. And then it ends with this.
Something that will not stop until it gets revenge. Me.
I'm sorry, what? Kind of blew my mind. Yes, my theatrical experience seeing it the first time could have been better. You see, I went with a couple of good friends who got really high and were just kind of mocking it and cackling through the whole movie. Kind of killed the experience for me. And they know who they are. Brendan and Steve. But don't worry, I regularly remind them of this because of the passive-aggressive that I am. Now with that out of the way, I absolutely love this film. I feel like The Dark Knight is the better overall movie, but Batman Begins, as much as I think that's a silly title, is the better Batman movie. And I'll say it right now, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time. People give me for this, I do not care. Now say what you will about Bale's Bat voice, and I will in a minute. I love him in this role. He got jacked to play Batman, which is particularly commendable considering he was literally coming off of this. I love his Batman, but I'm more impressed by his Bruce Wayne. I think Bruce generally is a more complex role to actually pull off. What with the whole idea that Bruce Wayne is really the mask. Bruce Wayne is the fake person, Batman's the real persona. And I think Bale does a wonderful job with it. But yes, I do think his Bat voice is a little over the top, a little silly, and it only gets worse throughout the trilogy. Plus there's this moment, and this moment.
Where were the other drugs going?
Which were supposed to be intimidating. They make me laugh every time. And with the whole Bat voice, sometimes you have arguments with people online. They're like, oh, well, what you don't get is that Bruce Wayne has to change his voice so people don't know that Batman's Bruce Wayne. Yeah, no, I get that. That doesn't mean it had to be this particular voice. It could be anything that's not his natural voice. Hey, governor. What say I beat the tar out of you, right? I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it wouldn't sound like Bruce Wayne. Speaking of voices, yeah, Michael Caine's Cockney accent is a little odd for Alfred, the butler, but he's so good in the movie, I give it a total pass. I love Cillian Murphy as Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow. It's my favorite interpretation of the character ever. He's slimy, he's wily, but we also realize he's also a spineless coward. Interesting note, Cillian Murphy actually auditioned for the role of Batman before they gave him the role of Jonathan Crane. Don't believe me? Feast your eyes.
Who was with Falcone at the docks?
And yes, that is in fact the Batman Forever suit. I will say, Katie Holmes takes a lot of grief for her role as Rachel Dawes in this movie. I think she's fine. I don't think she's that great. I don't think she's terrible. I do think they leveled up with Maggie Gyllenhaal. The low-key standout of the entire trilogy for me, and by that I mean a character who appears in all three movies, is easily Gary Oldman as James Gordon. He plays the character as honorable and idealistic, but also realistic. This is one of my favorite moments of his in Batman Begins.
What do you think?
I think you're trying to help. But I've been wrong before.
It comes across as so broken. We really understand that he could be the one straight cop in all of Gotham, and he's wearing all of her problems on his shoulders. And of course, Morgan Freeman is awesome as Lucius Fox because he's Morgan Freeman. He's also probably the funniest character in the movie. I really dig Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul. He kind of serves as a surrogate father figure for Bruce before eventually becoming his enemy. I like seeing him do the fighting. I just dig him. And I love that the central theme of this movie is fear. Young Bruce is attacked by the bats, which leaves him terrified with a fear of bats. And years later, he decides to manifest that fear to turn the fear on those that prey on the fearful. Further, Jonathan Crane has weaponized the fear toxin in the form of a gas, and Ra's al Ghul intends to use this fear gas to destroy Gotham itself. The production design is immaculate, utilizing Chicago as a stand-in for this movie's Gotham, in a very modern-looking city to differentiate itself from the gothic Art Deco flavor of the Tim Burton movies and the neon nightmare of the Schumacher movies. The Tumblr, the gadgets, the Batcave, it all just looks so amazing. Further, this Batsuit is my favorite of all of the live action ones. It's thick, it's monstrous, and even though we as the audience know that Batman's the hero, it's downright scary at times, particularly when viewed through the prism of Crane's fear toxin. I'm also a huge fan of the score from composers James Newton Howard and Hans Zimmer. I'm not sure if it's overtaken Danny Elfman's iconic theme from Batman '89 and Batman Returns, but it's close. I love the way it blends the traditional orchestral music and choral vocalizations with more electronic elements. To me, those two sides really reflect the characters of Wayne and Batman. The more symphonic stuff evokes Wayne's heartbreak and anger, whereas the electronic stuff sort of reflects Batman's sort of technical prowess. Granted, that's just how I read what the score is trying to convey. That's what I took from it. Interesting note, each track on the score is named for a different species of bat. That's cool. But much as I love this flick, this movie is not without its problems. As I said, that bat voice is pretty ridiculous. A lot of the fight scenes are shot so shakily and cut so quickly that it's really hard to tell what's going on. That really works as a stylistic choice for the first fight scene with Batman and the thugs at the docks. Because when you're a low-level thug and Batman's beating you up, you don't know where he's coming from, you don't know what he's doing, you just know that you're in a world of hurt. But in most of the other scenes, it just doesn't work for me. For the movie, they actually chose a relatively unknown fighting style, at least at the time, called KFM. Show it to me, let me see Batman doing it. And the final boss battle, as it were, the League of Shadows' plan is that they're putting Crane's fear toxin into the city's water supply. But to be psychoactive, it has to be breathed in the form of a vapor. So they're going to use a microwave emitter to vaporize all of the water in the water mains around the city.
That does not make sense.
There is a line in the movie where somebody says they've been pouring this stuff into the water supply for weeks. Nobody's had any kind of reaction. Do the people in Gotham not take hot showers? I mean, I know it's supposed to be a grimy city, but still. And I have other little problems with the movie, but they get all nitpicky, so what's the point? I love Batman Begins. I do think it is one of the best comic book movies ever made, or at least of the ones that I've seen, which is most of them. And it sets up my favorite trilogy of all time. I could gush about Batman Begins for hours. Just give me that chance. Happy birthday, Batman Begins. You're not even old enough to drink. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give Batman Begins. And I think I'm going to give Batman Begins a out of 10. So now I want to know, have you seen Batman Begins? What did you think about it? What is your favorite Batman movie of all time? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.